To the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready. 8 read.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Cook. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Operating from the gun. Riley, he's got Smith here. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Kamara. And an alley to run. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. He'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. Back to throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. To throw on 3rd down. Riley. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up?
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 19 carries, 90 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Cook. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
60 out, Lord.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, if you're going to pass on 3rd and 1, you better get a first down if you complete it. They completed it, but no gain.
The aiming point has to be beyond the first down marker where you throw the ball. 3rd and 1, you can't have anything that's even close to the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you run the risk of what we just saw there, not getting the first down.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. A big play there out of Kamara. 54 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll look to throw here. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
2nd and 5. Flushed out right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2nd and 9 now. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the outside. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
After a play like that, it should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. 2nd and 2. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Luck's good on the extra point.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Riley for Keenan Allen. That's complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make a connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On the ground, Kamara. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. That one goes for 30 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to slip through.
The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal.
Get him, you got him. Mike, 53, Mike. I'm coming for him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. He had 3 touchdowns already, but won't get a 4th here. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. On 1st and 10, Riley. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. 2nd and 4. He's got Allen. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Throwing on 1st down. Riley. And this one complete to Smith. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Back to throw. Riley. That one intended for Keenan Allen, and it's 3rd and 4. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. This time they stay on the ground, but he is not going to get the 1st down as they'll spot this at about the 28. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll throw now on the final play. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they're going to speed things up here. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. They'll get 34 yards there. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And this is caught. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's the fullback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And from the 1-yard line, they didn't try and reinvent the wheel, do anything cute. They just gave it to the big back.
You almost get the sense that if you can't get it in from the 1-yard line with your big guy carrying the football, you'll question yourself the rest of the day. They got it done.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. On second down now, it's Cook. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Take it in at the 22. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Double time, double time. 4 down.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he only manages a couple here, down to about the 38-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Hey, motion. Check. X3. No. Check motion. 6 guys. Check.
They run. It's Kamara. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw on 2nd down, Riley. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. It's caught. Smith. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Here we go, set, 60 outlaw. I got him. Check safety. Right up.
2nd down, it's Henderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll drop the throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
14 yards is the pickup, 1st down, New Orleans. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 33 yards that time. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a 2nd one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Come on. Ready to go. Cut. 45. Mike, hit it.
They'll run with Henderson here to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready. 50, plant. Pick me up. Here we go. Watch that.
Again, it's Henderson. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Yeah, baby.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Riley. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 2nd and 14. And he's going to go down again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Hey, 4 down. Watch 38.
Now back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. On first down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On the draw, this is Henderson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Boy, it's the same old song, isn't it? And right now, this one doesn't sound too sweet. They've been thoroughly outclassed so far. And there's another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that's something that we've said quite a bit in this game. On 3rd down, Riley. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Taking it about the 16. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
58, boys, 58, 58, Mike. It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house. 56, 58 to Mike. Shoot up, ready.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He's going to let it fly into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking left side, and it's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. He'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful. Well, we saw action to the final whistle in this one. Not only the touchdown at the end to add to their lead, then they tried to put more on top of the 2-point conversion but didn't get it.
That's someone that wants to win and by as many as possible. They don't get the 2-point conversion to add on top, but just the idea of going for it with that type of a lead already when they didn't need to do so, that tells you what his mentality is. He's an attack, attack, attack coach. Always attack.
So for the Saints, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.